I've got my first watch review video for you. It's the Harrods Special Edition Tudor Black Bay that I bought a few weeks back. So look, hope you enjoy the video. Let me know what you think, and hopefully you find it informative as well as interesting. Videos to follow. Welcome to the Tudor Black Bay Harrods Edition watch review, and this is the watch that I just bought literally a week ago. It's a watch that came about because I sort of put my name down on this at the time I bought my Rolex last year, and I got a call. So it came through, and here it is in more detail. And there you go. This is the main black box that it comes in, and it comes in a really nicely proportioned and I guess useful box as well. I'm not doing a sort of comparison directly with Rolex because actually I just wanted to give this watch its justice. I will do a Rolex Submariner video, which would be good in a few months, reviewing it, and especially after 5-6 months of wear. But for this video, I just wanted to concentrate on the Tudor. And you can see the box opens up and you've got another small box inside, which you can then remove. Now, on purchasing my Rolex and unboxing that, I actually ripped the internal sort of wrapping, which really, wound me up. But thankfully, I haven't done it with this one. And here's the watch itself. And as you can see, it just really looks fantastic. No complaints at all. There's one thing sort of having a look at the watch in store in a glass casing, but there's nothing quite like when you pull it out and you see it in its environment, i.e. the box. And, it's stunning. For the price point, this watch cost me $2,800, which is the RRP, 2,840, something along those lines. Hey, are you going to get, a better watch than that, looks-wise, for that value? Well, it'd be hard-pressed to beat it. I mean, it's got the sort of green and black color scheme that just looks phenomenal. They size it for you. Unlike the Rolex, this doesn't have that adjusting clasp, which you can sort of fine tune it. So it was quite a bit of a faff to get to fit my wrists, but on the wrist, it just looks absolutely fantastic. And I mean, I think what impressed me about the watch are small levels of details. Like, so see the crown, you can see the decoration on the front. The second hand here has it's part gold and part green, Harrods green, and of course the Harrods green steel bezel. This is not ceramic, this is steel, but it just looks really, really nice. I just really love it. I'm just going to take it out of its casing and unwind it. Now, the way you wind it is very similar to the way that you would wind a Rolex. So, and I think you might just be able to hear. Can you hear that? So it's got a really crisp and chunky sounding winding mechanism. It's just fantastic. So that should be enough to give it some power. This is an in-house movement called the MT3602, which actually has a very nice 70-hour power reserve. In comparison, for example, the Submariner has 40 hours. So this watch will give you almost 3 days usage without having to, well, say you put it down for 2 days, you'd be fine, because unfortunately with automatic watches, which is a really nice thing, but also can be slightly annoying. If you don't use them for a day or two, they stop working. And especially so in the case of the Submariner with, if I haven't used it for 2 days, clearly I'm going to have to wind it and reset it, etc. With this watch, you have an extra sort of half a day, maybe slightly more, before you actually have to do that. So it will keep sort of working for longer. And that's really good. Also, it has a unidirectional bezel. Now, if you look at that, I mean, when you twist that round, the clicks are so crisp. I mean, the level of quality that I've seen in this watch is outstanding, especially at the price point. If I turn it round and look at the clasp, and I'm just going to cover the actual model number that I have, or the batch number or run number that I have, just for sort of safety reasons, really. But you can see quite clearly it's got the special edition Harrods logo at the back. But if you look at the clasp, for example, yes, it doesn't have that self-adjusting thing that the Rolexes do, but it's still of very, very high quality. It just looks really, I mean, it's just fantastic. And I really, cannot be more impressed. Yeah, it's really good. One thing I'm not so keen on is that it's got rivets in the bracelet, but these rivets aren't actually real. It's just like what they're doing with Mercedes, and they have these kind of faux exhausts. I don't really dig that so much, but it's not the end of the world either, so it's just one of those things. But yeah, no, as you can see, just looks fantastic. And that color scheme, wow, just looks so nice. Let me just put it on. And as you would expect, it just looks fantastic on the wrist. Actually, I'm going to try and pull my shirt out a bit. And there you go. That's kind of the look I'm going for. But it just looks fantastic on the wrist. I cannot recommend this watch highly enough. There's a bit of a problem sort of getting it sized for me, because I like my watches tight but not too tight, but I couldn't really get the exact precise fit that I get with my Rolex. But at the same time, the fit that I've got, it's just, this is how I feel watches should be worn. Not too tight. You should have a bit of movement, but not so loose that it's all over the place. Of course, with seasonal changes and perhaps maybe seasonal eating habits differ, it may be a problem that you might have to readjust it and maybe add a link or two on every now and again, but it just looks brilliant. I love it. Just going on to the box itself, as you can see, obviously it comes with the guarantee. I've got my guarantee card at the bottom there. I'm not going to show too much of it but you can see the guarantee is there. I'm really impressed with the box. I feel like the box is actually even more practical than perhaps the one you get with the Rolexes, but that's not a knock on the Rolex. It's just kind of how I feel about this one. But you get, of course, one extra special surprise with this watch, and you get an extra strap, which is a really nice touch. Now, I don't plan on using this watch because I feel, funny enough, I'm more nervous about using this watch than I am the Rolex. I feel like when I bought the Rolex, it was 100% that this was going to be my watch for life, etc. This one, I don't know. I love it, but is it one that I'll keep for life? Time will tell. At this point, I don't know exactly. And this has nothing to do with the quality of the watch, etc., or anything like that. But it's definitely one that I want to keep pristine for now. Because unfortunately, when you wear your watches, you just can't help but get a scratch in them. And I mean, this is a very nice watch. And if it does really get valuable, for example, if they cut production of it, it could be something that could have some really good resale value. So I'm going to give it maybe 6 months to a year to see, you know, how the appeal of this watch sort of progresses over time. And if it becomes less desirable, well, it's still a lovely watch and I can keep it, no problems. The width of this watch is 41 millimeters. And as you can see, it just fits really nicely in the wrist. There's just no problem with it. Obviously, it's a bit bigger. Like when you see it, it's quite a bit thicker and quite a bit, you know, it's definitely a lot more of watch on your wrist. Not a lot, but you can, like when you compare it like for like with the Rolex Submariner, you do notice that it's got, you know, a bit more heft to it, and it's maybe got a bit more presence in terms of, you know, its size, but that's taking nothing away from the Rolex, of course, which is, you know, perfection. But it just fits so nicely, and yeah, I'm really impressed with it. Really happy and really enjoying owning it. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think. Subscribe, drop a like. It really helps the channel. Have a good evening, everyone. Take care.